be a factor today. Gusts around 30 miles per hour. A great matchup setting up between two former teammates in Carolina. Laura Oakman has more on that. Laura.
Sam, you excited about the Steve Smith, Josh Norman matchup? Josh told me not as excited as he is, saying going up against Steve every day of practice for 2 years enhanced his ferociousness. So what kind of ferociousness are we going to see today? Josh said, I'm going to learn everything on that first play. However Steve comes out, is it the good Steve or is it the tyrant Steve that I'm used to? Whatever tone he sets, however aggressive he's going to get, I'm going to match it. Sam, it should be a fun one.
Oh, I agree. This is one to watch all day, Daryl.
Is he expecting anything besides tyrant Steve out there?
Devin Hester is back deep. Washington won the coin toss and has elected to defer. There is John Harbaugh, whose team won their first 3 games, then lost at home last week, a 1-point loss to Oakland. That was a tough one. They're 3-1. Jay Gruden's team bouncing back. A win over the Giants, come from behind win, and then last week a come from behind win in the 4th quarter against Cleveland. Now 2-2. Dustin Hopkins kicking off for Washington. We are underway as the kickoff goes through the end zone. The touchback will give the Ravens the ball on the 25-yard line. There's Joe Flacco. Had major knee surgery last December. Says he's feeling fine. Worked real hard to get back into top shape. And let's see how he throws the ball today. Will he go deep in this wind?
I think he's going to give it a shot, Sam. I really do. And I was impressed just the fact that Joe Flacco came back from that injury as quickly as he did. Now, there's going to be some growing pains in the passing game because these guys have not had the ability to develop that chemistry quarterback-wide receiver yet.
Terrence West is the running back and has the first carry. Up to the 28-yard line, a pickup of 3 on the play. Iheanacho with the tackle.
A little flip in the offensive line. Alex Lewis, a left guard, kicks out to left tackle. John Urschel gets the start at left guard for a new lineup there. But I would be surprised if Steve Smith played this any other way but tyrant Steve Smith. I think his competitiveness, his will to win is one of the things that made him one of the top receivers in the NFL throughout his career.
2nd and 7, 3 receivers to the right, including 2 tight ends. Flacco with a short drop, and the pass to Mike Wallace is caught for a first down up to the 36-yard line. Check out the Redskins defense.
Yeah, and this is a group that has struggled to tackle and get guys to the ground, get off the field on 3rd down. That's going to be a key today, and they're going to have to lean on that. We got to look at the other side of that matchup, right, Sam? We got to take a look at Josh Norman. Can his guys get off the field on 3rd down? They are the worst 3rd down defense in the NFL.
Devorius Allen, better known as Buck, is now in at running back. 2 tight ends to the left. Here's Allen finding a hole up to the 42-yard line. Quentin Dunbar, the cornerback, making the tackle. Washington will be tested in the secondary today. Lots of injuries. David Bruton has gone on IR. They brought in Dante Whitner and Josh Evans this week.
Yeah, Bashard Breeland is scratched today. Right. Deshaun Phillips is scratched today. So you've got 2 guys just brought in this week at the safety spot that are going to get quality snaps and have to contribute.
On 2nd down. And again, it's Allen on the carry. Up to the 45-yard line. Iheanacho again, the safety with the tackle.
And maybe for both sides, as if we take a look at some of the key inactives today here. There's Bashard Breeland down the starting right corner for the Redskins, and Sharice Wright struggled a little bit this year, but the starting left corner for the Ravens inactive this afternoon.
Terrence West, the tailback on 3rd and 1. West finds the hole and bursts through and keeps going down the sideline, and it fights his way inside the 20-yard line. Big run for Terrence West, 35 yards.
Well, when you've got a team that's struggling with something, to keep an eye on 44, Kyle Juszczyk, your fullback on the lead block, you're going to make sure that they've got all that remedied. You get up inside. Now, there's been a number of issues for the Redskins in the run game and with their tackling. That time they got beat at the point of attack, and then there's some bad angles once Terrence West gets into the secondary that allows even more yards.
In the backfield now, Kenneth Dixon, 4th-round draft pick out of Louisiana Tech, making his NFL debut. and he carries for about half a yard.
And the Redskins are going to get a heavy dose of all three of these guys, Terrence West, Javaris Allen, Kenneth Dixon, and they are very excited to see what Kenneth Dixon can do. He hurt his MCL week 3 of the preseason. This is his NFL debut here this afternoon, and they have been waiting for him to get healthy.
He had a good preseason, was averaging close to 5 yards per carry.
Going old school on the Redskins today.
Dixon remains in at running back. 3 wide receivers to the left. The play fake by Flacco. Short to Dixon out of the backfield. 15. And fights his way down to the 13-yard line. Kendall Fuller, the rookie cornerback out of Virginia Tech, with a stop, a gain of 6 on the play. Ball just short of the 13-yard line. Have to get to the 10 for a first down. And Terrence West comes back into the lineup.
And with this committee, you're not really giving that defense any kind of tell. All 3 running backs, good running the football, good in pass protection, good receivers. For the Redskins defense won't get a tip as opposed to who's in there in the backfield.
Smith is matched up against Norman. Flacco short drop. The pass is complete to Mike Wallace. First down at the 7-yard line. Quentin Dunbar on the tackle, but the short passes have worked.
It's part of the offense here. It's the staple, and you can sense a little frustration. I think Joe would like to stretch the field a little bit more when the opportunities are there out near midfield, but when you get down into this part of the field, obviously you want that short passing game to be something you can lean on. But in my opinion, the most important thing once you get into the red zone is being able to run the ball effectively. Can the Ravens continue to run it effectively on this opening drive?
First and goal. Flacco looks, throws end zone, touchdown to the tight end Crockett Gilmore. What a drive to start the game for the Baltimore Ravens. 75 yards. And they finish it off with a touchdown pass. Only Flacco's second touchdown pass of the season.
Yeah, very efficient down the field, coming from the traditional tight end spot. Just a little play action, the run fake. It's a simple route up the field with a little outcut. Good throw by Joe Flacco. And again, right what we talked about at the top, Sam, the fact that we're making things difficult on us, especially at the start of the game. Really impressive opening drive by the Ravens offense.
And my apologies, his 5th touchdown pass of the season. Now the first kick of the game, the place kick by Justin Tucker into that wind is good. Good start to the game for the Ravens. 75-yard drive and the touchdown pass to Gilmore.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Baltimore Ravens with a 7-0 lead on a 9-play drive. Very impressive start to the game.
It really was. And you know, you want to challenge a team. If they have an issue, let's see if they've gotten it corrected during the course of the preparation week. Washington really struggling with their tackling this season so far. So nice job by the Ravens. Let's come out. Let's emphasize the run. Let's get our 3 running back by committee group out there on the field and see how this Redskin defense is playing today.
Chris Thompson, number 25, is back deep along with Will Blackman, number 41. The wind blew the ball off the tee. Said lots of wind. Morning started off very cloudy, but the sun has broken through. Temperatures in the low 60s, but the wind gusts are big.
Yeah, the wind has not sat down. It's still with us here this afternoon, and it is swirling. And it's difficult to judge the impact that wind is going to have here this afternoon.
Tucker's kick into the end zone. Blackman takes a knee 2 yards deep. And the Redskins will start from their 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins has gotten his game together. After a rough start to the season, first 2 losses, he's found his niche. Had a good game last week, 3 touchdown passes, 21 for 27.
I think the play calling has helped him find that niche. I don't know if you want to come out and have Kirk Cousins throwing 78% of the time. You know, Matt Jones is really starting to hit his stride as a running back. We'll see if he can continue that here this week against his tough Ravens defense. But I think that balance that Jay Gruden and Sean McVay have struck in that run-pass game has helped out Kirk Cousins.
And Cousins throwing on first down. Short out of the backfield, Matt Jones. Up to the 36-yard line, the 37, a first down. check out the lineups for the Redskins on offense.
Well, Kirk Cousins he has a lot of weapons on the outside. We've talked about Matt Jones in the running game. That's a big offensive line right there. But one of the biggest matchup issues for the Ravens this afternoon is going to be how do you cover Jordan Reed at the tight end spot? You've got Pierre Garçon, you've got Deshaun Jackson, Jamison Crowder. There's a lot of guys, but you cannot forget about number 86.
I think he's in the battle for top tight end receiver in the league. Matt Jones straight ahead. The pile stands up at the 40-yard line. Lawrence Guy, the first one there for the Ravens.
It just seems like every year when you talk about the Baltimore Ravens and their defense, they just perform very well. They had a tough start to the season last year, and a lot of that was because Terrell Suggs had gotten hurt early in the year, preseason camp, misses a year with that Achilles tendon. You lost all that leadership. He's back. He's being an example as a leader out there. This defense has gotten off to a great start the first month.
Cousins short drop outside of Pierre Garçon, close to the first down marker as he's wrestled down on the play by Jimmy Smith. Ravens overall are ranked number 1 defensively in the league, 5th against the rush, 3rd against the pass. They did falter late in the game against Oakland.
Well, still that's one of those complementary games. You need a little bit of help from your offense at times. Had the ball in their possession at the end with an opportunity to win and just couldn't figure out how to do it. That's just one of those really good football games. You'll watch that tape. That was a good game to watch last week, so they'll bounce back. 3rd and 1
for the Redskins, 3 tight ends in. Matt Jones, the running back. Cousins rolls and throws deep and overthrows Jordan Reed. They came up with a surprise play. It didn't work.
That's an aggressive play call by Sean McVay right there in that situation. Jordan Reed at the end of the line, you've got a lot of misdirection there. He breaks free, but again, there's a little bit of that impact of the wind that you've been talking about here at the start. It is gusting, it is swirling. It's going to be hard to hit people downfield.
Tress Way is back to punt. Devin Hester back deep for the Ravens at his own 10. Left-footed kick wobbles around and bounces just inside the 30. Took a Ravens bounce before the Redskins touch it down. Joe Flacco and the Ravens offense back on the field with a 7-0 lead.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly.
Back in Baltimore. Thus far, the Raven is satisfied with things. The Baltimore team starts from the 29-yard line with Javarius Allen, running back. Off the play fake. Flacco completes it to Steve Smith. Up to the 43, 44-yard line.
And when you're running the ball well, you're going to have the opportunity for play action like this. This is going to be a tough combination, and there's Steve Smith on the outside, and he's working against Quinton Dunbar, so they're not matching with Josh Norman. He's been mainly on that left side right now at the start of the game.
Terrence West now in at running back. Bunch the receivers to the right side, 2 tight ends in. Steve Smith motions. And West gets a couple of yards. Flag on the play. First penalty is a hold against the Ravens.
Holding. Offense, number 17. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
That's on Mike Wallace. Laura is down on the field. What's happening down there, Laura?
Well, along with that call, you also hear the wind. In a word, it's just funky. Like what Darryl was saying with that swirl. It comes down. It's going towards the Redskins bench. But if you look at the flags, you've got some going left to right, others going right to left. I talked to John Harbaugh about it before the game, and he said you can't figure it out either way. It's one of the best things about having that big arm quarterback of his. Joe Flacco said he can cut through it, but he's got to make it a little lower and a little bit stronger. It's gusty.
Flacco on the pass that was tipped and then caught by Javarius Allen, the running back, but it looks like he's short of the line of scrimmage tipped by Preston Smith.
It's one of the things that defensive coordinators talk about when they face Joe Flacco, how big an arm he has, all the different throws that he can make. So with the conditions that we're talking about, if they stay like this throughout the course of the game, I think there's an advantage that goes to Baltimore's offense and Joe Flacco in the passing game over Kirk Cousins in the Redskins passing game.
2nd and 20 for the Ravens on their own 34-yard line. Kenneth Dixon is it at running back. Rookie out of Louisiana Tech, 4th-round draft pick. On the carry, and not much there. He looks a little tentative to me, Darryl. You would know better, but I don't know. The 2 times he's carried thus far, he looks a little unsure of himself.
He needs a little help from the guys up front right now. He hasn't got one of those running plays that breaks clean. So one of the big things, and this is, one of the things that we coach the younger guys. You don't want to be going full speed when you get the football in your hand. You got to be in balance. You got to be able to make that break, make that cut. So as he's coming up to the line, sometimes people say it looks hesitant. He's just waiting for that running lane to show itself so he can explode through.
And here's 3rd and 21 for the Ravens. Flacco throws short to Steve Smith, and he's pulled down at the 40-yard line. The Ravens will be forced to punt.
Let's see what happens here at the end of the run with Steve Smith. Looked like he got up a little gimpy there at the end of this play. See if he gets kind of rolled up or trapped a little bit as he goes to the ground, but kind of hopped up quick and had a little limp to him as he came to the sideline.
One thing the Redskins not doing, they're not moving Josh Norman with Steve Smith. So whatever comes up, Norman staying on his side. That time was Kendall Fuller on the coverage. Sam Cook with the high punt. And Jamison Crowder on the return. Big return for Crowder. And he's going to go all the way. Touchdown Redskins. 85 yards. He's the best in the league right now.
I tell you, he's something. I mean, he came to the Washington Redskins really as a return guy. That's what he was going to be, his specialization. And he just improved so much during the course of the season last year as a receiver. Now he's a threat all across the board. Watch the ability he has. This is why he's such a great slot receiver, because of his open field vision, his ability to find the running lane, set people up. All your great punt returners are also outstanding slot guys. That's impressive.
Poor Sam Cook felt helpless.
Oh.
The punter, the last chance. First career return touchdown for the 2nd-year man out of Duke, Jamison Crowder. What a lift that gives the Redskins. Dustin Hopkins for the extra point, and it's good. No! The wind took that one. That was heading straight through. It took a left turn, and the Ravens still lead 7-6.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by the new Bacon King Sandwich. 6 strips of crispy bacon piled atop a half-pound of 100% beef, only at Burger King. By the Lincoln Motor Company and the new 2016 Lincoln MKX. And by Citrix. Better meetings start with GoToMeeting.
Little snap trouble here. We see the kick at the end and how it goes, but you see right there the snap was a little bit low. And then it gets up in the air and makes a hard left. So Tress Way, challenged on that snap from Nick Sundberg to get that ball down cleanly.
There's Dustin Hopkins to kick it off. That was his first miss of the season. Kevin Hester on the return from 2 yards deep. And he's hit it to 15 and falls forward to the 17-yard line. That's where the Ravens will start. Ravens with a 1-point lead. So Flacco has had a good start to the game with a lot of short passes.
Sure, but it's efficient. It gets your quarterback into a rhythm. And Joe's a streaky quarterback. He had the game earlier this season where he ran 21 straight to set the franchise record. So when he gets on a roll like this, you've got to do something to get him out of his rhythm.
Juszczyk, the fullback. West on the carry, breaks through. Ravens exploiting the run defense of the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, and right now I'm not a huge running back by committee fan when you're just continually rolling guys in and out. If Terrence West is a guy who's got the hot hand right now, I'm going to ride Terrence West for a while. He seems to be the guy that's breaking off the big runs.
Got a good block from the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. First down at the 27. Flacco fakes. Throws to Dennis Pitta. And they pick up across the 35 to the 36.
The Redskins know about Dennis Pitta as well, and you've got a guy like Jordan Reed, so they're guys through the course of training camp, and when they get to work, you know, their offense and their defense with their starters get to go against Jordan Reed, and to have them compliment Dennis Pitta the way they did, all the defensive players, the defensive coaches saying he's elevating himself into the upper echelon of the NFL as a tight end as well.
The fullback Juszczyk in motion. This is West. Time just across the 35. No gain on that carry. 4 carries, 51 yards for Terrence West. Had the 35-yarder on the touchdown drive.
And an opportunity right here for this Redskin defense to get off the field. Defensive coordinator Joe Barry has said, we've had opportunities, we just haven't taken advantage of them.
Third downs have been a problem. Empty backfield for Joe Flacco. Flacco with time goes outside for Steve Smith. Flag on the play. A great diving effort by Smith, who gets up limping. Greg Toller on the coverage.
Even with the penalty by Greg Toller, Steve Smith at the bottom.
Defense, number 20. Their penalty is declined. Moves on to the play for the first down.
What an effort by Smith.
Yeah, he still makes the catch, even with the pass interference. But we saw him on that last series come off a little gimpy, and it looks like he's re-injured that again. So the previous series at the end on that third down play, we saw him kind of get rolled up a little bit, so they retaped it again, but you can see that it's still bothering Steve.
First down at the 43. Buck Allen is the running back now. Flacco under pressure and throws incomplete. Try to get it to Crockett Gilmore, the tight end. First incompletion for Joe Flacco.
And that's not going to be good news for Ravens fans. And it's one of the things that Joe Flacco, I think what he would really like to see, there's been a lot of, you know, kind of rotation with the receiver group. He'd really like a commitment to the top 3 guys, and that would be Steve, Kamar Aiken, and Mike Wallace, and really start to focus on those guys as your go-to guys in the offense.
All receivers out. The quick throw is incomplete. Try to get it to Dennis Pitta. Mason Foster, the linebacker, on the coverage.
Yeah, I thought that Mason Foster was going to have an opportunity for the interception here, so you get a little bunch there. That's a nice job by Mason Foster, being able to find his way through all that traffic and almost have an opportunity to make a play on the ball.
So here's a 3rd and long for the Ravens, 3rd and 10 at their own 43. Let's see what the Redskins come up with here. There's again a chance to get off the field. They're showing blitz. 6 men up front for Washington. Here they come. Flacco lets it go, and it's incomplete. And a flag comes in. Oh! Will Compton was covering Dennis Pitta, and Compton upset with a call.
The officials are getting together right now to talk through this, but this is a classic example of what defensive coordinator Joe Barry is talking about. You've got him in 3rd and 10. There's your go-to guy. You're going to play good coverage. Will Compton comes out. He's got him down the middle of the field. The problem with Will Compton is he never really gets his head around to make a play on the ball, but there's not a whole lot of contact there at the end of the catch.
Pass interference. Defense, number 51. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
26-yard penalty. I don't know if I agree with that penalty, Darrell. Wow, I thought what you said was right on. That was good coverage.
Yeah, it's good coverage. The one thing that Will Compton has to do is he has to get his head around to play the football. That way, that incidental contact that happens, you take that ability of the official to call that penalty. When he doesn't get his head around and you have contact at the end of that throw, you give them the opportunity to throw that flag.
First down, Ravens at the Washington 31. It's Buck Allen across the 25. Duke Iannaccio with the tackle. But they keep rotating the backs. West comes in, Allen comes in. Pickup of 6 on that last carry. Buck Allen 3 carries, 15 yards. Four linemen in for the Redskins up front. Terrence West, the running back. It's West finding the opening, hit hard, and down at the 16-yard line, but another Baltimore first down.
Yeah, this is well done. This is a nice play. A little bit of a trap here as you've got your tight end crossing the formation, going to get a block here to allow Terrence West to get up inside. And again, right now, Terrence West appears to be the guy that has the hot hand. You know, and he's actually come out and he has said, listen, I love the fact that we've got guys that can spell you, but when I get in there, I want to stay. I get better as the game goes on, getting more snaps.
First down at the 16. This time it's Dixon, and he's fighting his way back to the line of scrimmage, unable to get anything going. Ravens continue to try the rookie. Matt Ioannidis on the tackle. Loss of a yard on that last carry.
I tell you, the funny thing is right now with Alex Lewis being kicked out to left tackle, John Urschel up as your left guard, it seems like most of the Ravens' run success is coming off that left side with that change in personnel in that starting 5.
West back in, the fake by Flacco. He rolls and looks. And puts it up in the air into the end zone. Too deep. It's out of the end zone. It was caught by Terrence West, but it's incomplete. I'll bring up a 3rd and 11.
I had an opportunity for Mike Wallace on that second tier. So as you come out on the bootleg, Mike Wallace is going to cross. He's going to get into that second tier. But Joe Flacco couldn't find him with everything that was going on. He's going to break free. He's got Will Compton underneath. That's not, I'm wrong there. That's Will Compton again with good coverage. You know, being able to track that second receiver on that second level.
3 wide receivers in for the Ravens on 3rd and 11. Juszczyk, the fullback, is in the backfield. Flacco with the throw and the catch by Perriman. At the 8-yard line, he's short of the first down. Rashad Perriman. And the man down is Josh Norman.
Yeah, you talked at the top about the injuries in the secondary, Sam, and they can ill afford to have Josh Norman go out of the game. This is an excellent catch by Brashad Breeland. Or I'm sorry, by Brashad Perriman.
Norman shaking up, and ooh, he's in some kind of pain.
Once you get in the arm.
That's a good sign. Josh Norman walking off under his own power. We were expecting this great matchup between Steve Smith and Josh Norman, and both have gotten injured here.
Yeah, we've
Steve
seen
Smith going to the locker room.
Steve Smith working with that ankle. Now watch here on the backside. This right arm is going to get trapped underneath Brashad Perriman, and that's a big guy. That's 6'2", 215 pounds. You're coming down, and you land on that. Is it something with the elbow, something with the wrists? We'll get you updated as soon as we hear something.
We've reached the end of the first quarter here in Baltimore. The Ravens leading the Washington Redskins 7-6. Here in Baltimore as we start the second quarter. It is 4th down and 2 for the Ravens, who are going for it. Or will they? Trying to see.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of effort there if you were trying to draw them off sides. I mean, sometimes we see people come out and at least they'll motion and shift formation and a little hard count here and there.
Still 4th down.
Okay, so the delay of game. Now the injuries are becoming a factor.
Yeah, this was our big pregame matchup to watch. So this is Steve Smith earlier in the first quarter. Watch that right ankle get rolled up on there. That was the initial injury. We saw him get retaped and then re-injure it. And then on that last series before the end of the first quarter, Josh Norman.
This is a 31-yard field goal try for Justin Tucker. And the kick is good. It hooked, but hooked through. And the Ravens have added to their lead. It's 10-6.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Domino's. Order online and track your order. By Lowe's. And by Miller Lite, the original light beer.
For the Coast Guard around here.
I love it up there. The opportunities to get up into this part of the country. I miss being around the water. You know, being here down in the harbor, the inner harbor this weekend has been great.
12-play drive, 71 yards. Justin Tucker with the field goal. And Tucker kicks it off. Stepping up is Will Blackman at the 7-yard line. Across the 20, bounces away, and turns it into a big one. And Blackman gets to midfield before he's wrestled down in Ravens territory. 2 huge returns in the game for the Redskins.
Well, that's all their offense today, because Jamison Crowder with the punt return, Will Blackman just a real nice job here on this kickoff return, because there was not a whole lot there at the start. He created a lot of that to get out 46 yards. Very impressive run.
Thus far in the game, the ball has belonged to the Baltimore Ravens. 24 plays. Redskins only 4 plays from scrimmage. Here's number 5 at the Ravens 48. Cousins throws it into the ground. Because standing right in front of him was Terrell Suggs.
I don't know if this was one of these run-pass options, because watch the lineman pulling. We're pulling out here, so it sure looks like a run, but I think that was one of those options that Kirk Cousins had. They had Deshaun Jackson on the quick little screen to the top, but Terrell Suggs was not fooled and got right in the throwing lane.
Chris Thompson in at running back for the Redskins, with 3 wide receivers in the game. Thompson on the carry, tries to get outside, turns the corner. Good run by Chris Thompson inside the 40, very close to the first down marker.
That may be one of the bigger things that I've noticed here early to the start of the 2016 season is offensive coordinators are not afraid to run on 2nd and long. And I've really seen successful plays week after week. I mean, 2nd and 10 right there puts you in 3rd and 1. That's a nice play call, nice execution by the Redskins offense.
Game 9 on the play. It's a 3rd and 1. Matt Jones is in at running back for the Redskins. Jordan Reed, some confusion as to where they want to line up the tight ends. Vernon Davis goes right, Reed left. And now timeout. They actually have 3 tight ends in the game, but they're running out of time.
Washington. This is a 30-second timeout.
There was confusion as to where they wanted to line up. People affected by severe weather and other disasters need help now. To support those impacted by Hurricane Matthew, text Matthew to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Hurricane Relief.
Thinking about everybody along the East Coast, Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas. Boy, I know they say it wasn't as bad as they anticipated, but you see some of the pictures, it still looks terrible.
Well, those winds over 100 miles an hour. Matt Jones, the running back. On 3rd and 1. Cousins puts it up deep again, and it's too far. Overthrew Vernon Davis. That's the 2nd time they've thrown a pass on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Vernon Davis out at the top. He's your tight end, but he has the athleticism of a wide receiver. You try to get that matchup with a safety on the outside. And we've had some mix-up here inside. There's a nice hit on Kirk Cousins by Michael Pierce.
Redskins will go for it at the 39-yard line. They have 3 tight ends, and they brought in an offensive lineman, Ty Nseki. And here's Matt Jones, and he's got the first down. That was power.
That's good stuff right there. And we've seen them now twice throw on 3rd and 1, as you mentioned. And sometimes you do that because you have the confidence to be able to come back on 4th and 1 and do this. And I think the way that Matt Jones, and this all started 4th quarter against the Giants. He seemed to get on a roll there. Continued that in last week's game.
First down at the Ravens 36. Jones, the running back. 3 wide receivers in. Cousins quickly outside to Jordan Reed to the 30-yard line. Reed leads the team in receptions. Terrell Suggs was offside on the play.
Offside. Defense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down. Please reset the game clock to 13 minutes, 10 seconds, please. 13:10.
Even with that great jump, not getting by Trent Williams. Trent Williams, one of the better left tackles in the NFL.
Redskins with a 1st and 5 at the Baltimore 31-yard line. Jones, the running back. 2 tight ends in. Jones straight ahead. Gets to the 30. Lawrence Guy, the tackle. Jay Gruden's team led by the return.
Thank goodness for special teams today. I mean, it's been a tough road for them out there offensively, but it's a 3-phase game. It's offense, defense, and special teams. And for the Redskins right now, their special teams group has been bailing them out.
Trying to find their offense in motion. Pierre Garçon. Matt Jones, the running back. Jones. Nothing there. Tough to run against these Ravens. One of the stiffest defenses in the league. Timmy Jernigan and Lawrence Guy combined on the stop.
And we actually had an opportunity to talk with Timmy Jernigan, and he has a lot of respect for this Redskin run game. He has a lot of respect for Bill Callahan, the offensive line coach who orchestrates and created this. And one of the big things is they can run that zone scheme, which gets everybody running. They've got power and gap schemes inside. They throw a lot at you in that run game.
Here's 3rd and 4. Thompson lines up in the backfield. Cousins being pressured, and they've got him. Sacked by Terrell Suggs, his 4th sack of the season. He's coming back from injury and playing pretty strong.
It really is, and it's a difficult injury to come back from. A second Achilles he's had in his career. It's just amazing at this stage to see him come back and get at the level that he's playing at, coming from that right side, inside, working with Elvis Dumervil. That's a tough combination when you've got Terrell Suggs down inside and Elvis Dumervil over top on the edge.
So a 1st and 5 was stopped, and the Redskins forced to punt. And the kick end over end bounces down, was touched in the end zone for a touchback. So the Ravens defense gets tough, stiffens, and forces a punt.
This is 5 continues later today on CBS, then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN.
Ravens start from the 20-yard line with a 10-6 lead. Terrence West, the running back. Flacco throws to Mike Wallace. And Wallace with a first down up at the 33. Laura Oakman on the sidelines. What's happening, Laura?
Well, when we thought we'd be updating Steve Smith and Josh Norman, we thought we'd be talking catches and passes blocked. Instead, we're talking injuries. Steve Smith was in the locker room. He is out now. Had trouble just pushing off and putting any pressure on his right foot. As for Josh Norman, he is in the locker room. Could not move his right arm. The doctor's very gingerly taking off his glove, having trouble simply opening and closing that right hand, Sam.
Thanks, Laura. Terrence West carrying. He's been the top running back thus far in this rotation of 3 backs by the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, he has. He's played well. He's following up what he did last week. So I'd stay with him. I mean, you can spell him with Kenneth Dixon. You can spell him with Buck Allen. But, you know, let him be your featured guy right now in that rotation.
3 tight ends in with West the running back. On second down, the play fake. Flacco throws and completes it to Dennis Pitta, the tight end. Out of bounds at midfield. First down, Ravens. Here's an update from LA and Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Sam. Here's a little baseball update. Just 37 miles down the road at Nationals Park, Game 2, NLDS. Corey Seager solo shot at the top of the first. He did the same thing in Game 1. The Dodgers up 1-0. It's now the top of the third. Sam, Daryl, and Laura.
Thanks, Carissa. Baseball cooperated with me. They postponed yesterday's game. Kenny Albert had to do the baseball game today, and I'm happy to be here. This is great.
Lots of moving pieces. We'll figure it out.
Here's Flacco under pressure. Throwing deep. Deep downfield for Perryman. That's off his hands. He was covered by Greg Toller. Ooh, that was close.
Well, that's what you set it up, and that's what Joe Flacco's waiting for, and he puts the ball right there. Rashad Perryman's just got to make the catch. Working against Greg Toller. Good release on the inside. Gets on top of him. Gets away from the safety. Joe drops it right there. He's got to make that catch. If you want to stretch the field and be able to stretch the field when the plays are there to be made, you have to make them.
Flacco wanted that. He knew it was there. Good throw.
Great throw.
2nd and 10 for the Ravens at midfield. West, the running back. Joe Flacco, 12 for 16. 99 yards, 1 touchdown. Juszczyk, the fullback motion. Flacco under pressure. They got him. He's sacked on the play. Ziggy Hood, the nose tackle, the 8th-year man out of Missouri, with the sack.
That's one of the things you're going to have to do to get Joe Flacco out of that rhythm. Add 1 guy to your rush. You got 5 defensive linemen across that front coming in. Collapse that pocket onto Joe Flacco.
That's a big play by the Washington defense.
And you have the explosive play. You should have been 1st and 10 inside the 10-yard line. Now you find yourself in 3rd and forever at your 42.
Have to get to the Washington 40 for a first down. Flacco throws to Pitta. Pitta's brought down at the 45-yard line. Kendall Fuller on the coverage. And punting unit will come on. So the Redskins defense does the job there.
Well, it had a little bit of help from the Ravens offense with that dropped catch on the long pass. But that's a good play right there, because that allows your special teams to come out here on the field right now, and for Sam Cook to be able to get this ball up in the air. The one thing that has been the Achilles heel of the Ravens this afternoon is their coverage.
Cook kicks it high. Jamison Crowder lets it go. It bounces inside the 5. A bounce in favor of the Ravens. And they down it at the 6-yard line. C.J. Mosley down. This was a big throw for Perryman, but it went right through his hands. Washington has the ball.
Need money. Live better.
Back in Baltimore, the Redskins will start from their own 6-yard line. They've only had the ball 4 minutes and 42 seconds in the first half. As they try to find some offense and some continuity. Matt Jones, the running back. Cousins puts it up to Jordan Reed, the tight end. Maybe he got a yard on the play. Zach Orr was covering. Got help from Tavon Young.
And got to find a way to get Jordan Reed involved in this offense, and that's a good start right there with just a little bootleg action. But credit the Ravens defense. That's something you're going to see multiple times here this afternoon out of different formations, different personnel groups. That bootleg, they like to get Kirk Cousins on the edge with the ball in his hand, and that was a good job defensively by the Ravens.
3 receivers to the left for the Redskins. Reed splits to the right now. Crowder motions. Cousins on 2nd and 9. With time, he finds Pierre Garçon. That's a first down. He's out of bounds. Up across the 16, close to the 17. Jimmy Smith, the coverage on the play.
Nice job by the guys up front, giving him some time to survey the field. And watch the throw. We talked about the wind here. You got to really step into that and zing it. You're coming all the way to the outside. You make a mistake here, and that ball flutters a little bit. And I'll tell you right now, Jimmy Smith's going to take that to the house for a touchdown.
First down at the 17. There's Matt Jones. And he's thrown back. The ball came loose. And it belongs to the Ravens. A fumble. Zach Orr forced the fumble and recovered it.
As one of the things that got Matt Jones last season, ball security, put the ball on the ground. Possessions are too valuable. He's worked really hard at it, running high and tight. You see right there. Now that's one of the ways to carry the ball. As a young boy playing football, you're taught the old 2 hands over the top. That is not the best way to carry that ball into the contact zone. Still high and tight with that other hand on top of it. And right there, Zach Orr knocks it loose.
Big hit, big recovery. And now the Ravens in great position with the ball at the Washington 15-yard line. Terrence West, the running back, 6 carries, 63 yards. Flacco to put it up. Short to Mike Wallace. And he stopped at the 13 and held up. Mason Foster, help from Will Compton. Gain of 3 on the play.
Huge opportunity for the Redskin defense to come out and at least force the field goal attempt. With the wind blowing and gusting and swirling the way it is, I don't think we have anything guaranteed here today in the kicking game. So if you can rise up right here, force that field goal attempt, that'll be a big momentum shift, a big boost for the Redskin team.
Ravens with 3 tight ends in, all to the left side. Flacco short drop, swings it out to Terrence West. Spins and is brought down on a good tackle by Preston Smith. And West is shaken up on the play, a little slow getting up here. Now he's okay.
And this is a good sign for this Redskin defense. There's an open field tackle, not perfect in any means, but you got him to the ground. There's no style when you're making tackles out there, as long as he's on the ground.
Last week they were missing those tackles.
They really were. They've really struggled, and it's been everywhere. You know, there's been holes opened up in the defensive front. Linebackers, you know, with the wrong leverage, wrong fill, missing guys in open field situations for tackles. So it's been hard for Joe Barry, you know, to try and focus on one area because it's been across the board.
Timeout with the Ravens leading and threatening. Small screen, stadium-sized content. Watch live local Sunday games on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. And even on that small screen, you can see that number 24, Josh Norman, is back in the game.
And you can see that pad on top of that right hand.
Here's a 3rd and 9 for the Ravens. Terrence West, the running back. Flacco to West, and nothing there. For that time, Ravens decided not to put it up. Washington defense did the job. Ravens started on the 15 and ended on the 16.
Excellent job by the Redskin defense. And right here, you're going to bring pressure on 3rd and long in this situation. Now, if you can crease that as a running game, if you can hit that crease, there's not going to be anybody there. You're going to bump your head on the crossbar as you go into the end zone. But as they came in on their blitz, Will Blackman, all his guys in the right spots.
Justin Tucker, 35-yard try. Sam Cook, the holder. Morgan Cox, the snapper. They fake it. And the throw by Tucker hits the defender in the helmet. That was Iheanacho.
They had him, but Crockett Gilmore had a little bit of trouble getting his release. That delayed him. That made that coverage a little bit tighter.
So the trick play doesn't work. It hit Iheanacho. First-time place kicker Justin Tucker has attempted a pass in the NFL, and it didn't work out. Wasted opportunity for the Ravens. Redskins start at the 16. Kirk Cousins puts it up short, completes to Vernon Davis, and Davis up to the 23.
Let's see the little glitch in this execution that probably prevented it. You're going to have, watch Crockett Gilmore. He's going to stumble as he goes to release directly to the kicker. Maybe he pops a little bit more. Maybe he gets a little bit more separation, gives Justin Tucker a little easier throw.
Hurry up offense. Vernon Davis on the catch, but short of the first down. Good tackle by Ladarius Webb.
Sometimes you just got to use your head on plays like that, Sam.
Here you go.
Just be smart.
Looked like a soccer play by Iheanacho. Duke Iheanacho, the man who was hit on the play, but the Redskins survive and trying to get something going with 3rd and 1. Matt Jones, the running back, Cousins to put it up. And he's got Jordan Reed, the tight end, the first down. Chased out of bounds. We've got an update coming your way. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Sam. Philly at Detroit. Lions up 14-7. And Matt Stafford, well, he likes playing the Eagles. Last year he had 5 touchdowns against them. This year, so far today, he's got 3. That one to Marvin Jones Jr. Detroit's up 21-7. Sam, Dale, and Laura.
Well, the Eagles, who started off hot, coming back here, but in Detroit, Matthew Stafford having a good day. Cousins on first down, the play fake, wants to go deep, nobody open. Goes outside, it's batted away. Trying to get it to Matt Jones, and Albert McClellan came over to break it up.
Yeah, you got to be careful there. You've got something dialed up. You want to take a shot down the field.
Roughing the passer, defense, number 93. Low hit to the quarterback's knees. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, and an automatic first down.
So you're going to try to take the shot down the field. So it's going to be Vernon Davis, number 85, your tight end, work in the middle of the field. He's not there. You're not going to be. So you want to check it down. And if you come late on that check down, you got to check your coverage. And as you heard, that 15-yard penalty at the end of the play is a point of emphasis this season. You cannot go low on the quarterback when he's in a passing posture in the pocket. As a defender, it's another one of those plays where you're responsible for your body. Whether you're shoved or not, you cannot hit the quarterback knee level or below.
Movement before the snap, flags fly. Lawrence Guy was the man who committed the foul, a very costly penalty, which gives the Redskins the ball at the Ravens 43. We'll check out this penalty here. As the discussion, Ron Torbert's our referee. His 7th season in the NFL, his 3rd as a referee.
Neutral zone infraction, defense, number 99, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Timmy Jernigan on the call. That's 5 more yards advancing for the Redskins.
Just got to settle down a little bit here. Back-to-back negative plays on your defensive line.
5th penalty of the game for the Ravens. Redskins with the ball at the Baltimore 38. Matt Jones, the running back. 3 wide receivers in the game. Cousins, short drop, pump fake, in trouble, throws it away.
Well, that looks like something you would have when you had a double move route. And there was no double move route out there on the offense. So I don't know if that's a miscommunication or not seeing the same thing, quarterback, wide receiver, based on coverage. But that sure does look like a pump fake to move somebody on a double move. As you can see, everybody's kind of shallow.
With the 2 tight ends in, Davis and Reed. There's 2nd down and 5. Cousins sends all the receivers out, fires to Jordan Reed. He's got a first down at the Baltimore 29-yard line.
He's like a wide receiver in a tight end's body frame, and he's just a difficult matchup. On the outside, he can run all the routes that your wide receivers run. You can see they spread him all the way to the outside, give him slants, give him all kind of different routes that are a part of this offense.
Get a sense that things are turning in this game. Washington's starting to come alive, getting their game together. And Baltimore's failure to take advantage of the field position hurt them. Matt Jones swinging wide, but not much there. Stretched out well, and Gerard Powers made the stop, gain of 3 on the play. Coming down to the 2-minute warning in Baltimore. The close rivals, the Beltway battle continues with Baltimore leading 10-6, but the Redskins driving. 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Gray skies are gonna clear.
Team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. House divided. The team separated by less than 30 miles. Chris Thompson in at running back. 2nd and 7 for the Redskins. At the Ravens 27. Cousins throws shorts, complete to Jordan Reed. Down to the 20-yard line. Brought down by Ladarius Webb, the safety. Just short of the first down.
That's a nice job by Ladarius Webb finishing. We've talked about that's Jordan Reed. That's a tight end right there. Go down and cut the legs out from underneath them. It's a good tackle in the open field.
On 3rd and 1, Thompson, a running back. All receivers out. Cousins throws, nobody there. There was some miscommunication. Garcon was about 3 or 4 yards away from where that pass was thrown.
See what happens at the top. Working against Jimmy Smith. Going to press it out, and it looks like he breaks to the outside with Kirk expecting him to break outside. Some aggressive play calling today. Redskins going for it here on 4th and 1. Fake field goals. 4th down calls.
Matt Jones, the running back. 3 tight ends in to the right side. On 4th and 1, it's Jones straight ahead. He didn't get much. I don't think he made it. Ravens think they stopped him. Waiting for the official signal. Ravens ball. They stopped him. Ravens defense comes up with a 4th and 1 stop on Matt Jones, and they take over.
And can you explain to me why you recommend
The Battle of the Beltway, Baltimore and Washington. Right now, the Ravens have held the lead since they took the opening kickoff and marched 75 yards. Washington's only score coming on an 85-yard punt return by Jamison Crowder. And both teams have failed on their last possessions. Washington with a 9-play, 63-yard drive that came up empty. Flacco on 1st down to Dennis Pitta. Stays on his feet. Good effort by Dennis Pitta, gets up to the 28-yard line.
I thought you made a good point, Sam, about the momentum shift with that takeaway and the great field position at the 15 and to walk away with no points. Washington puts that drive together. Getting stuffed on that 4th down just gives all that momentum right back to the Ravens now again.
Flacco's pass, I think Juszczyk, the fullback coming out of the backfield, may have been off balance. I think he stumbled coming out of the backfield.
I've seen a couple guys trying to, right on his break right there, he stumbled. Fullback's got to make those catches. We don't got a lot of snaps out there on the field, Sam. We can't let something like that happen.
I know one fullback who would have made that catch. Darrell Johnston. Here's 3rd and 1. And Flacco puts it up. And he's got a man and he overthrows Aiken. Kamar Aiken was covered. Pressure from Trent Murphy on the quarterback here.
Yeah, Trent Murphy is off to a great start here, working one-on-one against Rick Wagner right there. And they had an opportunity here. Again, this is the 2nd time we've seen a receiver get on top for the Ravens. We have Brashad Perryman drop the ball. That time, Joe Flacco a little bit too long.
But here's a 3 and out for the Ravens after they took over on downs. Sam Cook with the punt. High punt, short. The wind held it up. Takes a bounce in favor of the Redskins and goes out of bounds. Let's check out what's coming up at halftime with Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, Minnesota tries to remain one of the 3 undefeated teams in the league. In TB12, that's right, Tom Brady tries to keep the Browns the NFL's only winless team. Join me in this TBOG on the Visa Halftime Show. You ready?
I'm ready. America, you ready?
You warmed up?
I'm warmed up.
All right.
You know what? RTB can still throw the football.
You sure can. Sure can.
Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report. We got it all covered. Joe Flacco on the bench. The Redskins have the ball with 44 seconds to go and 2 timeouts remaining. Cousins sends all his receivers out. Throws to Jordan Reed, who steps out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
It doesn't appear that Baltimore is doing anything unique against Jordan Reed, and I know it's hard when you play against Washington. They've got great skill players across the formation, but Jordan Reed, he draws your attention. He's somebody that you've got to limit the opportunities.
Ball spotted at the 35, 2nd and 4. Ryan Grant is in the game as a 3rd wide receiver. Cousins throwing for the running back, Chris Thompson, out of the backfield. He's got a first down at the 42 and a timeout called for. 34 seconds to go in the first half, with the Ravens leading 10-6. The most outspoken duo in sports talk is now on FS1.
Every weekday, watch Shannon and I debate the day's hottest topics.
And I'll let Skip know exactly how wrong his picks were this week.
Like I let you know last week. Undisputed, 9:30 Eastern, FS1.
Those guys have got to learn to get along.
Too much animosity.
Redskins first down. Cousins throws short again to Thompson out of the backfield. Gets to midfield. 27 seconds remaining in the first half. Gerard Powers on the tackle. Hurry up offense. Clock running. At midfield, Cousins spikes it. 19 seconds remaining.
And we've watched the kickers pregame here. You know, both directions with this wind and the havoc that it presents for them. And going in this direction, we watched 50, 52, 54, something consistent in there, which would put it to be the 36, which is kind of right on that fringe. You add the 18 yards to get to it. So we'll see if that becomes a marker that this Redskin offense is looking to get to.
5 receivers out. Cousins throws to Chris Thompson, heading for the sideline, and he gets out of bounds at the 42-yard line. 12 seconds remaining. Time for at least one more play from scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a great job by Chris Thompson. You know, you catch that ball in the hash area and you get all the way to the sideline, get out of bounds, keep that last timeout in your pocket. That allows Kirk Cousins now to be able to work any part of the field to get that timeout called. Now, they've had some issues end of half, end of game with the clock, so we'll see how they handle this one here.
12 seconds remaining in the half. Shad Ross is in the game at wide receiver. The pass to Reed, and he is inside the 40, down about the 38. And the timeout is called, a gain of 4 on the play. And from here, probably be about a 56-yard field goal. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson in L.A. What's happening, Carissa?
Well, Sam, Jets at Pittsburgh, 44 seconds left in the second. Steelers were down by 6. Second and goal, Roethlisberger to Jesse James. 14-13, Steelers are up at half. Sam?
Thanks, Carissa.
All right, now, this is going back to the Giants game, right? 6 seconds left.
Yes.
They've got the ball inside the 10. Kirk holds it. This is a situation, 6 seconds, that they're bringing the kicker out now. You were right in that same scenario. So if you were going to do anything, it was going to have to be outside and fast to make sure you're going to have an opportunity for this kick. And this is a stretch. This is just a little bit beyond the custom. I don't know what the wind is like now. We're already here right at the end of the first half. How much has died down a little bit, but they were about the 44 consistently pre-game.
There's a 56-yard try. It's on the way. The direction is good, but it's short. And you can see the wind kind of just put up that wall and stop it.
Yeah, it was going to be a hard choice right here. You've got 6 seconds left. You don't have any timeouts, but you need a couple of yards. And obviously they needed about probably 3 or 4 more yards. So you're in that situation. Well, do we go here and let our kicker have an opportunity to hit one, you know, maybe a little bit longer than he'd like to try today, and make sure we get at least the attempt? Because with 6 seconds left, you get tackled and bounced, no timeouts, something bad happens, bad exchange, you don't even get the field goal attempt.
Redskins didn't get their offense going in the first half. They did have the one drive of 63 yards but came up empty. They will get the ball to start the second half and a chance to get some momentum going right away. And that's it for the first half. The Ravens. Somebody call a timeout?
Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Second timeout.
There's 1 second on the clock. So the Ravens took the opening kickoff, marched 75 yards for a touchdown. Washington scoring their only points on a punt return for a touchdown, 85 yards, their first punt return touchdown since 2008.
Then they had the other, Will Blackman, with the big kickoff return, put him in great field position. So the Washington Redskins return teams kept them in here in the first half, because Baltimore, I mean, they dominated the first quarter. Which is, I mean, they were on the field less than 2 minutes. But
there's a lot going on here for 1 second.
Yeah, well, you came out and you were going to just snap the ball and take a knee with 1 second, and they call a timeout. I don't know if you were looking to see the formation by Washington, but now it looks like they may take a shot at it.
And instead, Flacco gets sacked. So Ryan Kerrigan, who was hurt last week and was questionable all week, playing with a hurt arm, comes out and gets a sack at the end of the first half. Baltimore Ravens have a 10-6 lead in the Battle of the Beltway as they lead the Washington Redskins. The Visa halftime report is coming up next. To Gilmore. Got Baltimore the lead early. Washington's only score, 85-yard punt return by Jamison Crowder. Baltimore's defense has kept Washington's offense in check. Terrell Suggs with a sack on Kirk Cousins. That was today's excitement, brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. Ravens with a 10-6 lead as we get set for the kickoff to start the second half. Look at the numbers of the first half. First quarter dominated by Baltimore, and then things seemed to balance out as Washington started to get things going but couldn't sustain it.
Yeah, and that second quarter, the game was there for somebody to grab the momentum. You made a great point on a series of plays where it looked like Baltimore had a great opportunity to do that. They had just missed the deep pass. They come back, they get a takeaway. Looks like they're going to have points. They do the fake field goal. Washington stops that, and then they come right down the field. But then they stall when they go for it on 4th and 1. So, boy, that second quarter was kind of bizarre. We're both teams struggling to make the plays necessary to grab that momentum.
Do you think the wind has affected some of the play calling?
I do. I do. I mean, that was a tremendous throw by Joe Flacco. With the conditions we have today, how windy it is, there's the ball, off the tee again. I mean, he dropped that right into Brashad Perryman. So you got to make that play. But I do. We've seen an extra point missed. So definitely the wind is causing some issues for the guys out there. And I'm sure it has got the play callers to kind of back off of their calls down the field. Our biggest play of the first half was a 35-yard run.
Right. Tucker kicks it off and backs up Thompson right through the end zone. The Redskins will start from the 25-yard line. Sam Rosen, Darrell Johnston, Laura Oakman down on the sideline. Washington, despite being outplayed for large portions of the first half, they've got a chance to take control of this game.
Absolutely, it's right there for them. And I think here in the second half, one of the things they need to do is start leaning on that running game a little bit more. Get Matt Jones back involved with that running game. They've played well the last 2 games when that's been a component. Now, I'm not saying it has to be 50-50 on your play calls, but there were 21 passes, 8 rushes in the first half.
Chris Thompson, the running back, tries to take it wide, and the Ravens there to stop it for a short game. Let's find out what's happening down on the field. Laura Oakman has that covered. Laura.
Well, I talked to Coach Harbaugh about how he wanted to get this offense moving and punch it in. He said the biggest thing, we got to break away from that man coverage, give Joe a little time to air it out, get the ball out, get the offense moving. This will not make it easy. Steve Smith is out for the rest of the game with an ankle injury. As for Josh Norman, we saw him return. He is back, but he was battling a wrist injury. Sam?
Thanks, Laura. Chris Thompson, the running back. Cousins on second down. Gets time and throws, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Pierre Garçon. Late flag comes in.
I think Pierre Garçon is somebody who gets lost in the shuffle when you've got Jordan Reed and Jamison Crowder and what he's been doing.
Thrown, illegal contact. Defense, number 22. 5-yard penalty results in an automatic first down.
Pierre Garçon is one of those guys that reminds me of Anquan Bolden or Larry Fitzgerald. You know, just finds a way to do all that dirty work and get everything done. Whoop, he was all the way coming on that inside. So just a little bit of contact as you go to make that break on the inside. But I'm a big fan of Pierre Garçon. He plays the game the way it should be played.
First down, Redskins at the 32. Vernon Davis and Jordan Reed in the game. The carry there by Robert Kelly, the rookie out of Tulane, getting a chance to see some action. Brandon Williams. There's a flag on the play. Brandon Williams in on the stop.
Illegal shift by the offense. 2 men moving before the snap did not reset. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
You could see on that play, he actually had Vernon Davis kind of motion across formation, and he's going to wham Brandon Williams, big number 98, on the inside, and running back gets back inside. You know, he's got to see that play coming, and he's got to hop to the outside. Use the blockers that you have up in front of you to get in that open space.
Kelly remains in at running back. It's 1st and 15 for the Redskins. Kirk Cousins has time. The pass is complete to Jordan Reed, the tight end. C.J. Mosley on the stop, and we go to L.A. to Carissa Thompson for an update.
Yes, Sam, another baseball update. This will make your audience very happy. 2-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 4th. Jose Lobaton against Rich Hill sends this one deep. A 3-run home run puts the Nationals up 3-2. Game 2 of the NLDS. Sam, Dale, and more.
Game 3 will be in L.A. tomorrow. If there's a Game 4, it'll be on FS1 on Tuesday. Timeout on the field. Morgan Moses shaken up on the play.
Here's with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Chevrolet. More 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand. And by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV.
It is so beautiful down at the Baltimore Harbor. Morgan Moses, the white tackle, goes to the sideline. Ty Nseki, 6'8", 335 backup, is in to replace him. And Cousins on second down, throwing deep, and overthrows Pierre Garçon.
And he had to get rid of that quick because protection was breaking down right up the middle. You watch pressure come on, you got C.J. Mosley walked in there. Tim Jernigan beats Brandon Sheriff to the inside, gets all the way back, dumps Kirk Cousins.
Brings up a 3rd and long for the Redskins at their own 34. They're 2 for 6 on 3rd down plays in the game. Chris Thompson in the backfield. Cousins steps up, throws for Jordan Reed, and he is brought down short of the first down. Tavon Young with a stop.
Tim Jernigan was the guy who got to Kirk Cousins on the previous snap. They weren't going to let him get there on that one.
Not him. That was good protection, but the pass comes up short. Press way to punt. Good high kick. The wind got behind that one. It bounces into the end zone for a touchback. A boomer of 61 yards, but it nets 41.
Today we're going to talk about
screening saves lives, and the NFL and the American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about a crucial catch day on October 25th and find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink.
Sometimes you wonder why you just take a knee at the end of a half. Well, you remember the Ravens went for that throw at the end of the half. They had a little bit of a mishap in protection, and Rick Wagner was slow going off the field. He's out of the lineup right now.
A nice cutback on the play by Terrence West, who had a good first half. West carried 7 times for 60 yards in the first half. Ball up at the just short of the 25-yard line. Josh Norman was not on the field for the first play. He is now in at left corner. West, flag on the play. It's up to the 29-yard line. We'll check out the flag. Ricky Jean-Francois looking around saying, hey, I was being held on the play. Maybe.
Illegal formation by the offense. Had 5 players in the backfield. It's a 5-yard play, 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Moves the ball back to the 19. Bring up a 2nd and 11 for the Ravens. What are your thoughts on the Ravens' offensive game plan here for the second half, Darryl?
Well, I just wonder how much this wind is impacting their decisions. Joe is a good long ball thrower. He's got a strong arm. I think that he'll be able to navigate the wind better than Kirk Cousins. Do they give him another chance? And if they do, I think he'd probably prefer Kamar Aiken to be one of the guys he's throwing the ball to, or Mike Wallace.
2 tight ends to the left. Hands to Terrence West, and there's nothing there. Redskins do a good job up front, closing the hole. Couple of yards on the play for West. Will Compton leading the way for the defense.
See right there that when they've tried to stretch the field on the 20+, they haven't had any success. And remember how efficient Joe was at the start of this game. Started out with 7 or 8 in a row there to start the game.
3rd and 8. Have to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. Flacco being pressured, in trouble. They got him again. And it's Trent Murphy leading the way.
And you've got a shuffle in this offensive line. You have the injury to Ronnie Stanley. He's inactive today. Now Rick Wagner is out. So you've got a lot of guys in different spots right here. And as the Ravens turn their protection to their right, the pressure designed by Washington coming to attack the left side, they overloaded it and got to Joe Flacco.
They've credited the sack to Terrence Garvin, the inside linebacker. Well, Murphy was in on the play as well with pressure. The Ravens forced to punt. And again, the wind affects that kick. It goes to midfield, and the Redskins will have great field position. Joe Flacco feeling the force of the Redskins front.
The guy was a legend on the field.
And Crowder is a dangerous man.
Nice play action, gets the linebackers to step up. You have to honor the run. That allows this throw over the top to Jamison Crowder, delivered on time. Good location by Kirk Cousins. We just showed you how windy it is here. That's a good throw.
Crowder, 5'8", 182 pounds. and maybe the most dangerous man on the Redskins offense right now.
Well, Jay Gruden had nothing but great things to say about him. You know, tough as there is coming out of the slot, can run every route we have.
Redskins' first play of over 20 yards in the game. First down at the 27. The play fake, Cousins throwing short. And the completion to Vernon Davis, the tight end, gets down to the 21-yard line. Redskins on the move. We check in with Laura Oakman on the field.
I talked to Jay Gruden about how to get them on the move at halftime, on the move. Offensively, he said, we're playing okay, but we need to play flawless against this defense. The trick is what they're doing now, getting Kirk some time so he can get into a rhythm. But what they are missing right now, a little bit of shuffle with the offensive line. Right tackle Morgan Moses, we saw him leave. He is in the locker room under concussion protocol.
Thank you, Laura. Second down. Cousins fakes, throws for the corner. Touchdown! Pierre Garçon. Perfect throw by Kirk Cousins. And there's your Mr. Reliable, Garçon in the corner.
He does all the dirty work. You know, he works those underneath areas, and they give him an opportunity on the outside right there. And he and Kirk Cousins are able to cash in, split all the way out wide left. You got Jamison Crowder and Jordan Reed. They're going to grab some attention there. That's that little smoke screen you see. Good play design. Jamison Crowder jumps back, but you're sending your two guys not to block, but to go vertical down the field.
They beat Jimmy Smith on the play. 3 plays, 50 yards, and the Redskins have the lead for the first time of the game. The extra point try by Dustin Hopkins out of the hold of Tress Way. And everything works perfectly. And the Redskins with a quick touchdown strike and the touchdown pass to Pierre Garçon have the lead 13-10. At a short punt. Redskins got the ball at midfield. 3 plays later, they're in the end zone. Kirk Cousins 3 for 3 on that drive.
They got into a rhythm, made some nice throws to throw to Jamison Crowder off some nice play action, but I like the play design on the touchdown as well. That screen pass that we see so often with the wide receivers going down to block, all of a sudden that's play action as well, and you've got Pierre Garçon over top of Jimmy Smith.
Hopkins kick deep in the end zone. Hester takes a knee, and the Ravens will start at the 25-yard line.
So let's go back and revisit what's happened today for this Ravens offensive line. The start of the game, Ronnie Stanley is going to be inactive, so we're going to take left guard Alex Lewis, move him to left tackle, bring up John Urschel to left guard. That play at the end of the half where they took a shot and they gave up the sack, Rick Wagner got rolled up on. So now Marshall Yonda, the right guard, kicks out to right tackle. Ryan Jensen has come in at right guard. The only player you have in his original position from last week's game, center Jeremy Utah.
Flacco on first down, being pressured, hit as he throws, got it out to Terrence West, and he is thrown back for a loss by Mason Foster.
And this is going to impact your protection schemes, your run blocking. You get reps during the course of the week, but you're playing at a different position right now. So good job with the coverage down the field. And you heard Laura, John Harbaugh said, we've got to get out of this man coverage. We've got to do something. They're really locking down the receivers for the Ravens right now.
2nd and 14, fourth negative yardage play for the Ravens. Terrence West, the running back. Flacco throwing, it's incomplete. Try to get it to Mike Wallace, and covered well by Quentin Dunbar.
I just think if I've got Mike Wallace out there and I know it's man-to-man and there's really no help over the top on that last play, I don't want Mike Wallace coming back inside. I want Mike Wallace going down the sideline. Let's see if somebody can run. Let's see if Quentin Dunbar can run with Mike Wallace on the outside.
Juszczyk in the backfield with Flacco on 3rd and 14. Pressure coming. The pass to Wallace complete. Short of the first down. Ravens 3 and out. That's a good defensive series, and the Redskins defense has gotten better as this game has gone along.
And what did we talk about in that second quarter? Nobody wanting to grab the momentum. Washington has come out here in the third quarter and has really kind of seized that momentum, both offensively and defensively. The Raven defense this is a critical series for them right now. They've got to go out and get a stop.
Will Blackman and Jamison Crowder are deep to receive this punt from Sam Cook.
Wow.
It's over the head of Crowder, and it's going to be downed at the 1-yard line. Good coverage by the Ravens. Darren Waller is just back from suspension, was down there to down the ball, and the Redskins are pinned back deep in their own territory. Tomorrow, it's the National League Division Series Game 3. The Chicago Cubs and the San Francisco Giants. Cubs are up 2-0, and they are rolling right now. If necessary, Game 4 with the Washington Nationals and the LA Dodgers Tuesday, all on FS1. Leading the way, Dodgers and Nationals, with the Nationals leading 3-2 in the bottom of the fifth. They go straight ahead with Matt Jones. He gets a little bit of breathing room out to the 3-yard line.
We talked about seizing back that momentum. Sam Cook has given them an excellent opportunity to do that. He drove that ball. We've seen the impact that this wind has had on the kicking game here today. He got that one over the top. Good job by his guys down the field to down at the 1. Okay, defense, what are you going to do right here? If you can make a stop here, you've just flipped field position in your favor tremendously.
By the way, that Sam Cook punt was 68 yards. Cousins lines up in the backfield to take the snap and drops back. He gets time and he throws and it's intercepted. Mosley on the interception, and he dives for the goal line and he comes up just short. They're discussing it. It is a touchback. He lost the ball.
Ruling on the field is that the Baltimore player fumbled the ball before reaching the end zone. He fumbled it through the end zone. It's a touchback. 1st and 10 Washington on the 20.
How about that? Washington winds up with a 17-yard gain.
He definitely lost it. Well, you've got an underneath route that you should have taken. Now you're trying to force it in over the top to Jordan Reed. Good job by C.J. Mosley seeing that, getting in the throwing lane, getting the interception, but I just don't. I mean, you're trying to make the play, but you got to be sound. I mean, he just served it up.
He wanted to reach for the goal line. That's the way it appeared. And the ball slipped out of his hands, goes through the end zone and becomes a touchback. And the Redskins get the ball back at the 20-yard line.
Good hustle by Ty Inseki and Brandon Sheriff right there. They forced that play. They forced that aggressive play by C.J. Mosley to try and break the play and get a touchdown. Good hustle by your right side on the offensive line.
So what could have turned the game around turns out to be Redskins ball, and the Ravens decide to call a timeout here.
First charge timeout, Baltimore. This is the 32nd timeout.
A little over 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And the Redskins with a 13-10 lead and very fortunate to regain possession of the ball.
Well, Kirk Cousins, all he needs to do is check it down. Let your punter come out, and let's try and do the best we can. You can see the receiver coming open right there. Jamison Crowder, I think, or no, it's Pierre Garçon underneath. You're anticipating C.J. Mosley to jump that route, and you try to get it over the top to Jordan Reed, and C.J. Mosley makes the interception.
First down, Redskins at the 20. Matt Jones got a good hole. And across the 30 to the 33. Gain of 13 on the play.
Again, it looks like this right side of the line, the two guys that were hustling to try and make that tackle. Watch your right guard and right tackle. There's your down block, the turn that allows the center to get up to the linebacker level. That's good blocking up front. And again, the one thing that everybody's talked about with Matt Jones as he started to hit this stride is how decisive he's been with his decisions in the running game.
Gain of 12 to the 32. Robert Kelly now in at running back. The rookie out of Tulane. He's got a nice hole, and he rips off a big one. Gets up to the 48-yard line. Two good back-to-back runs by the Redskins.
Really good runs, but really good blocking up front. These are huge running lanes right now. Spencer Long just runs Brandon Williams right out of the play. I mean, that's two gaping holes that this offensive line for the Redskins has created for Matt Jones on consecutive plays.
28 yards on 2 plays.
That's actually Robert Kelly there.
Yes. Kelly remains in. Jordan Reed shifts. 2 tight ends in, Reed and Davis. Cousins with time, throws, completes to Pierre Garçon right at the first down marker. And it is a first down.
And he took a big hit on that interception return as he was pursuing to make the tackle on C.J. Mosley. He got peeled back on and took a huge hit. So we talk about Pierre Garçon being that tough guy out of that Anquan Bolden mold and Larry Fitzgerald mold. I'm surprised to see him out producing right now. He took a huge hit on that interception return.
C.J. Mosley, who made that interception, has got a hamstring problem. Questionable to return. Cousins goes short to Matt Jones out of the backfield. Jones turns it into another nice gain inside the 30. Another first down for the Redskins.
I can't believe the depth of the drop of the linebackers. Watch Anthony McClellan and Zach Orr right there in the middle. Watch how quick they're bailing out. And here comes Matt Jones. You slip him out there. There's nobody around him for about 10 yards at that point. You've got to rally up and try and make that tackle.
Gain of 13 on the play. And the Redskins on the move, getting the ball back and moved from their 20 to the Baltimore 29. Miles Paul, the tight end, lines up in the backfield. Jones is tripped up. Nice play by Eric Weddle, the safety. Longtime San Diego Charger, who's come in to be a leader of this defense in that safety spot.
The leader of the defense, but still a big physical presence on the back end. And you need to know where 32 is when he's dropping down to fill in the hole. But the Redskins offensive line, they have changed up their blocking scheme a little bit. They've hit a run style right now, a blocking style that's giving the front of the Baltimore Ravens fits right now.
3 wide receivers in. Robert Kelly is the running back. It's Kelly on the carry. And he's brought down at the 23-yard line by Timmy Jernigan. Kelly was not drafted. A college free agent who made this Redskins team as they have revamped their running game. Alfred Morris left after last season. Matt Jones has taken over as the #1 running back. Chris Thompson has been used as a running back and pass receiver out of the backfield. There's a big third down play with Thompson in the backfield with Kirk Cousins. Cousins with plenty of time, throws, and a reaching catch by Pierre Garçon. A beauty for a first down at the 14-yard line.
That's a nice throw catch right here. He's up at the point of your trips formation. Pushing it to the outside, the little pivot route back inside. Just a nice throw catch right there on a critical third down.
The Ravens without their starting cornerback, Sharice Wright. Gerard Powers was covering on the play. 8th play of this drive for the Redskins. Matt Jones looking for an opening. There's none there. Good job up front by the Ravens to shove him back, led by Timmy Jernigan.
Sometimes it's just not there. You just put your head down, push forward, try to get as much as you can. Don't try and bounce something outside, take that negative play. I think that's an example right there of the decisiveness in selecting his running lanes that the coaches have seen over the last game and a half for Matt Jones.
Forward progress to the 13. 2nd and 9 for the Washington Redskins, who lead 13-10, late third quarter.
Jordan Reed up at the top. Red zone matchup troubles.
Cousins goes to the right side, completes it to Crowder. He's out of bounds inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Talking about Joe Flacco getting into a rhythm. Kirk Cousins has gotten into a rhythm here on this series. He's thrown the ball very well. Really, since the start of the second half, all the way through the third quarter, he's thrown the ball well.
23 for 31, 200 yards in the game. On third down, Cousins being pressured, throws, and it's incomplete. Tried to get it to Deshaun Jackson, who's really had a quiet day. He's been targeted maybe twice in the game.
The ability to disrupt timing and force progression by the quarterback, and that's what coverage did right here for the Ravens early on. He wants to go up to the top to Jordan Reed. It's not there. He's got to backpedal, reset his feet, and by that time runs out and they can't get the completion.
Elvis Dumervil with the pressure. Redskins send on the field goal kicking unit. Dustin Hopkins will attempt from 27 yards out. And the kick is through. He's got a nice little draw to it, doesn't he? Very nice. Redskins have taken charge of this game. They lead by 6. That was a big play, an interception by C.J. Mosley, but he fumbled just short of the goal line. It was a touchback. Back come the Redskins with an 11-play drive, 72 yards, and they wind up kicking a field goal to now own a 6-point lead. But let's go back to early in the game when they missed an extra point, and that could be a big extra point.
Come back and haunt you, but I know the defensive coordinator, Dean Pease, for the Baltimore Ravens, is happy because he's been asking all those questions all the time about red zone defense. And you know, the Ravens haven't given many opportunities to teams, but they've only been there 8 times, but they've scored 7 touchdowns on those 8 opportunities in the red zone. So, you know, to get that field goal right there, and as you pointed out, it's a 6-point game because of that missed extra point.
Had a look at Kirk Cousins. He was 9 for 12, 98 yards thus far in the second half. Hopkins kicks it off. Devin Hester says no. Touchback, and we check in with Kurt Menefee in L.A. What's happening with those Patriots, Kurt?
Well, it's like Tom Brady didn't miss a beat. This is his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. All 3 to Martellus Bennett, by the way. Brady 23 of 33, 339 yards, those 3 scores. They're up 30-7 in the third quarter. Sam, Darrell, and Laura.
Thanks, Kurt. Look at the numbers for Tom Brady, 23 for 33, 339. And Martellus Bennett said, that's why I signed with the Patriots.
Exactly. I tell you what, if we get him and Gronkowski together out there with everything else they have.
Nice contact by West, and he breaks a long one. Stays on his feet across midfield. Terrence West. Well, he's stating his case to be the #1 running back. 28-yard run.
All right, now watch the miss right here. Watch this miss on the tackle by Duke Iheanacho in the hole. Going to limit that to about a 7-yard gain. Turns into a big gain after that.
Sam Rosen, Darrell Johnston, Laura Oakman, glad you're with us. We start the fourth quarter with the Ravens after a 27-yard run by Terrence West at the Redskins 48-yard line. The carry there by Buck Allen down to the 45-yard line. The run game has worked well for the Ravens against Washington.
It was the key component in that opening drive that looked so good for the Ravens when they went right down the field for the touchdown. And again, we've talked about the struggles that the Redskins have had tackling. And there was another great example of it with Duke Iheanacho missing Terrence West in the hole.
2nd and 7. Ravens have rushed for 111 yards in the game. This is West, and they hold him by the ankle. Good effort by Mason Foster. He grabbed his ankle, wouldn't let go.
Nice job by Mason Foster. Got in, looked like he might miss it, like he was going to overrun, and was able to get a handle on that. Watch 54 as he comes in there working against Terrace West. He's a big, strong back.
West has had a good game with 11 carries, 95 yards, 2 long runs, one of 27, one of 35. Here's a big third down play, 3rd and 6. At the Washington 44, Flacco under pressure. He was hit, and the pass is incomplete. Ziggy Hood, he has been powerful up front for Washington, made a big play.
It's hard for these guys. You know, this is a group that's never really played together. There's Ziggy Hood working right there, going up against John Urschel. He's just driving everybody back. There's no room for Joe Flacco to move. Ziggy Hood is collapsing that pocket all the way back into his lap.
So the Ravens are stopped. And Sam Cook with a high kick that goes into the end zone. And it's a touchback. Redskins will start from the 20 with a 16-10 lead over the Ravens.
Tonight on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Nissan, innovation that excites, and by T-Mobile, bringing you greater coverage of today's game.
How does the 320-pound man celebrate?
You know, if you're going to go belly bumping, you got to measure the belly that's coming at you. Man, that's just not a fair matchup. I'm going to come get you another time.
Chris Baker, who was in on that last play. Redskins start from the 20 with a 6-point lead. And flags stop the play.
Encroachment, defense, number 78, 5-yard penalty, first down.
The little things, you can't allow that. You're trying to force this offense into a 3-and-out, and you come out on the you don't even snap the ball.
Right.
And you got a neutral zone infraction for 1st and 5.
5th penalty on the defense of the Ravens. Matt Jones trying to cut it back. Ravens there to stop him. No gain on the play. Been basically 2 passes to every run for the Redskins in the game. 33 passes, 16 runs.
Yeah, and you just look at all the different areas where they've started these drives, and sometimes that dictates, you know, what your play calling is going to be. They've gone everywhere from midfield, backed up at their own 1.
Cousins has thrown for 200 yards. Redskins have rushed for 57. Matt Jones, the running back. Off the play fake, being rushed, hit as he throws, but it's caught by Deshaun Jackson, out of bounds in Ravens territory at the 48-yard line. Good throw by Cousins.
Really nice throw by Kirk Cousins on this, because he knows he's going to get hit. Watch the pressure coming from the top of the screen. Terrell Suggs comes inside, and you're trying to get the ball down the field, so Kirk's got to hold it a little bit. He knows he's going to take the shot, but look at the location on the throw. It's Deshaun Jackson right in stride.
First catch of the game for Deshaun Jackson. 27-yard gain for the Redskins. Matt Jones still in at running back. They motion the tight end. Jordan Reed, 2 tight ends in the game. Cousins has time. Throws and completes it to Rashad Ross, the 2nd-year man out of Arizona State. A gain of 8 on the play.
Now that's a good decision right there. He's going to have Deshaun Jackson on the top of the screen doing a double move, trying to get the big home run ball, and he's able to sift through all that and find Rashad Ross underneath for a nice gain.
Now it's the Redskins on the move after the big play to Deshaun Jackson, followed up by the 8-yard gain. On 2nd and 2, Matt Jones puts his head down, barrels forward, close to the first down marker. Anthony Levine with the first hit. Redskins with a 3rd and 1 coming, and they've had some different kind of calls in the game on 3rd and 1.
They've been a little aggressive on the 3rd and 1 play call, holding that 4th down in their pocket, which would be another example right here. You know, if they don't convert here on this one, that they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Jackson and Reed to the right. Niles Paul lines up in the backfield. Cousins for Reed, and it's incomplete. Well, again, an aggressive call brings up 4th and 1.
They are not going for it.
That's interesting. That's a change.
Well, the way that they've been running the ball here, you know, whether it was Matt Jones or Robert Kelly here in the second half, you know, you wonder why, if you're not going to go for it on 4th, because you're thinking one play ahead, that you don't take that run play on that 3rd and 1 attempt.
Cressway goes down. He kicks it up short. It bounces just short of the 10-yard line, heads for the sideline, and continues to roll inside the 5. The Ravens are pinned back. The Redskins with a 6-point lead.
It's here. Changing in the NFL in the punting game. We've seen a lot of Aussie kicks today, but boy, that one, that's the nose right on the top of the foot. And still trying to figure out why Devin Hester didn't get up there, be a little bit more aggressive and fair catch that, not allow it to roll all the way down to the 5.
Ravens start from the 5, play fake by Flacco out of the end zone. The pass is complete, but no gain on the play. That's good coverage on the play by Mason Foster on Dennis Pitta, the tight end. Joe Flacco had the great start to the game. He's had good numbers in the game at 19 for 27, but not a whole lot of yardage passing.
No, not at all. And I think that's one of the things that this offense is struggling with, and whether it's the conditions today with the wind. John Harbaugh talked about the tight man-to-man coverage that Washington is playing. I think that would be more favorable for Joe Flacco in that situation.
On 2nd down, Flacco rolls and again throws out of the end zone, and the pass through the hands of the tight end Crockett Gilmore. It was covered by Quentin Dunbar. Let's get an update from LA. Here's Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Well, as good as Minnesota's been, this is something they hadn't done all year. Sam Bradford hooks up with Cordero Patterson. They go over the 30-point mark. Right now, they lead it 31-6 over Houston. That defense has given up just 128 total yards to the Texans. Sam, Darrell, and Laura.
Thanks, Kurt. Boy, Minnesota's playing well.
You know, hats off to Mike Zimmer and his whole staff, being as aggressive as they were to go out and get Sam Bradford after that tragic injury to Teddy. So, you know, that's a foresight to know what kind of team you had.
On 3rd and 10, Flacco throws short. The completion to Dennis Pitta, but he's brought down short of the 1st down, and the Redskins defense, and you can hear the fans getting on the Ravens. Since that first possession of the game, the 75-yard drive, the Ravens offense has been kept in check for the most part.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to force a team out of man coverage by throwing short. If you want to get them out of man coverage, you need to start going over the top. And, you know, Josh Norman's out there, sure, but you can find other matchups on that lineup that you should be favorable with.
Sam Cook kicks this one high, and Jamison Crowder waits for a fair catch at the 37-yard line. Redskins right now 6-point lead, but they're in control of the game.
Today's game is sponsored by the new Bacon King Sandwich. 6 strips of crispy bacon piled atop a half pound of 100% beef. Only at Burger King.
Baltimore's had 4 possessions in the second half, 4 punts, 3 3-and-outs.
It's stymied. I give a lot of credit to the Washington Redskins defense. They have locked down their passing game. This short passing game is not threatening or scaring them at all.
Redskins start from the 37. That's Robert Kelly, the rookie running back. No gain on the play, maybe the loss of a yard. Zachary Orr in on the stop for Baltimore. Redskins scored on an 85-yard punt return by Jamison Crowder. And then the touchdown pass thrown by Kirk Cousins to give them the lead in the 3rd quarter. On their opening possession of the 3rd quarter, Chris Thompson in at running back, shifts into the backfield. Cousins throws short to Thompson. with good speed, cuts it back, and is pulled down as he crosses the 45. About a yard and a half short of the first down. Zach Orr in on that play as well for the Ravens.
A really nice job by Sean Laval. Watch number 77. He's going to recognize the linebacker coming inside out and get a seal to the inside to allow Chris Thompson to continue down the field. Good vision, looking inside. Always look inside on your screens.
Why is that?
That's where your pursuit's coming from. Very rarely will you have pressure coming off the edge. You're usually taking care of him. So as those linemen and running backs get out there to help out, always keep your eyes inside.
Big third down play. He misses the snap. Cousins got it. It's hit. He threw it away, and it's incomplete. Anthony Levine, the safety, came in, burst in, and hit Cousins.
This is a play that saves a lot of field position for the Redskins right here. That snap comes early. Kirk Cousins goes back and gets it. Has the presence of mind to know where Deshaun Jackson is and get the ball in that direction and have it being incomplete instead of just falling on the fumble recovery.
Now the Redskins forced to punt as they get nothing done offensively. Tress Way just gets it away, almost blocked by the tight end Daniel Brown. Takes a good roll for the Redskins and comes to rest at the 7-yard line. That was almost blocked by Daniel Brown.
I think we got a little piece of it on that, Sam.
Yeah, you're right. Daniel Brown activated from the practice squad this week. They had 2 tight ends come back. Darren Waller came back from a 4-game suspension. He's played in this game today, and Brown, second-year man from James Madison, getting a chance. The ball spotted at the 8-yard line. Terrence West, the running back. Flacco out of the end zone. Goes to the tight end Gilmore. And he is brought down up at the 23-yard line, a first down. Duke Iheanacho and Will Compton in on the tackle. Ravens offensively have struggled in the second half. Not a lot of yardage. 4 punts, and they also had that fumble after an interception. Off the play fake. Flacco sets up the screen. Gilmore is tackled for a loss. Good play by Will Compton. Compton has really been active in this game.
He really has. He's got a good feel for getting through all that traffic in there. As linebackers, he's got to travel all the way out here to get into the screen. You read it, you see it set up, then you got to find out who's the guy that's going to be in the screen. You find Crockett Gilmore inside out. Good pursuit, good tackling right there in the open field.
Loss of 3 back to the 20-yard line. 2nd and 13 for the Ravens. Clock running with 6:25 to go. 4th quarter. All receivers out. Over the middle to Gilmore. Crockett Gilmore is stopped short of the 30-yard line. Will Compton again in on the tackle. A gain of 9. But it brings up a 3rd down play. And a big 3rd down play for the Ravens.
There's another area that the Redskins have really struggled in coming into this game. Far and away the worst 3rd down defense in the league. And they've done a good job today against this Ravens offense.
3rd and 4. Flacco gets rid of it quickly. It's dropped. Well covered was Mike Wallace. They try to get it to him. Greg Toller was all over him.
You heard John Harbaugh talk about it with Laura Oakman coming out at halftime. We've got to find a way to be more productive against this tight man-to-man. Look at the coverage right there on both Dennis Pitta and Mike Wallace. Those defenders are stride for stride. There's no margin for error for Joe Flacco on these throws.
And once again, the Ravens forced to punt. 5 possessions, 5 punts here in the second half. Sam Cook with a good high kick. Jamison Crowder from the 16. And he's brought down as he crosses the 20. There's a late flag. Flag on the play. We've got to check it out. Kirk Cousins ready to come back on the field with the Redskins offense. And a 6-point lead.
During the return, illegal block in the back by the return team, number 32. 10-yard penalty. Washington's ball, first down.
The Redskins go on offense. Robert Kelly called for the block, illegal block, but it's Washington ball.
NFL shield is tails.
This was pregame,
That's tails.
which involved Justa Brooks, the widow of Ravens defensive line coach Clarence Brooks.
Clarence Brooks came here in 2005. I was with Clarence at Syracuse University, one of the greatest guys I've ever met. And there's the CB sticker that they're wearing on the back of their helmets. Hard-pressed to find a better guy on a football staff than Clarence Brooks, and he made a huge impact on me when I was young at Syracuse University.
On first down from the 11, the completion to Deshaun Jackson up to the 16.
He was one of the guys that had the summer job programs. He did the roommate assignments for the football team. So when Clarence passed away, I made sure all my friends from Syracuse knew that we had lost Clarence. And the chain of stories that started to come out over the next day and a half, I laughed and had a smile for a day and a half thinking back on Clarence Brooks.
Great memories.
Great memories. Sad day when we lost him, far too early.
2nd and 4 for the Redskins. Matt Jones, there's a good hole there. He barrels through, gets across the 20, and we'll see where they spot it. Very close to a first down. Redskins would like to get a couple of first downs and eat up this clock.
The thing about Matt Jones is he's a big man. He's 6'2", 230 plus. If he's running decisively, that's a tough running back to stop. And you want to find out about your running game and how good it is. Here's a great situation right here. You know, you're getting into that 4-minute offense that everybody talks about. Run the ball, keep the clock moving, force your opposition to burn their timeouts, ice the game without leaving the field as an offense.
Morgan Moses, who was shaken up earlier, is back in the game at right tackle for Washington. The ball outside here to Matt Jones, to Deshaun Jackson. And he's brought down at the 22-yard line. Spotted at the 23 with the clock moving, under 4 minutes to go. The Redskins have scored the only points of the second half, 10 points in the third quarter. Take the lead, and now protecting the lead. On 2nd and 8. Cousins with time throws, reaching catch by Jamison Crowder. Beautiful catch by Crowder. The little guy stretching out as far as he could, and he's brought down to 30.
But when you bring in somebody and you want him to be your return specialist, you hope that they develop the skills to become a wide receiver. But Jamison Crowder already had those skills, and he just continues to work on them and improve them, and he is going to be a matchup nightmare as well. I mean, to Jordan Reed, Jamison Crowder, the guys that defense have to worry about from this Redskin offense. Pretty tough matchups.
Huge play for the Ravens defense. It's 3rd and a short 2 yards. And a timeout called by the Redskins.
And again, we've talked about, for some reason, this
First
play
shot,
today,
Washington.
the 3rd and 1.
Timeout.
The 3rd and 1 play has just given these Redskins fits. It's one thing they haven't been able to figure out today.
Let's check in on the field with Laura Oakman. Laura, what's happening?
Sam, you talked earlier about so many people pitching in to help other people affected by the devastation of Hurricane Matthew. Redskins owner Daniel Snyder sent his plane yesterday to the Bahamas, delivering emergency first aid kits, food, batteries, and relief supplies. The Bahamas Minister of Tourism expressed gratitude to the team and Mr. and Mrs. Snyder, saying the Washington organization has gained many Bahamian fans this season.
Thanks, Laura. You know, we mentioned the southeastern portion of the United States, but certainly the islands have been affected badly.
The devastation that you see on Haiti, just unbelievable.
There's 3rd and 1. Matt Jones is back in. Jones carrying, and they stop the play. False start on the Redskins.
Before the ball was snapped, false start. Offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
That was on Jamison Crowder. Ball placed back at the 25. 3rd and 6. The view from the Redskins sideline. Cousins puts it up deep. He's got a man and he overthrows Deshaun Jackson. He knew Jackson was open. You could feel it. Tavon Young was covering one-on-one.
Wow, he gets on top of Tavon Young right away. I don't know what he's thinking. 3rd and 6. He's not going to just keep running by me. And that was just overthrown by Kirk Cousins.
So the Redskins forced to punt. Devin Hester is back deep. He's got it. Here's the return. Hester to the 40 and brought down close to the 45-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Flag.
That's a good job by Devin Hester there. The last couple of punts, I thought he had opportunities to field and fair catch and preserve a little bit of field position for the Ravens offense. That time he actually gets a nice return. We'll have to see what the result of the penalty is.
This looks to be against the Ravens.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 41 of the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's Anthony Levine Sr. Let's see.
There's 41 right there. Boy, I tell you, there wasn't a whole lot of contact. He just really put his hands on Niles Paul in that situation. Niles Paul was diving to try and get in the path of Devin Hester Sr., but it was definitely not a push in the back by Anthony Levine Sr.
So now the Ravens start from their 16-yard line with 2:33 remaining. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Flacco, incomplete. Tried to get it to his fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, and Chris Baker was covering on the play. Well, Chris Baker with pressure on the play.
It's been difficult. We talked about the shakeup again in the offensive line. Only one player in his original position from last week.
Flacco going short to Juszczyk out of the backfield, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Terrence Garvin made the tackle. Hurry up offense for the Ravens. They trail by 6. High snap. Flacco controls, throws low, incomplete. It's going to be a 4th down.
You're trying to go quickly. You're trying to get another play in before the 2-minute warning. This is almost a disaster at the top. Watch Greg Toller jump this. It's a good thing that's low and away, or that's going to the end zone.
The ball just short of the 25-yard line. Here's the ball game for the Baltimore Ravens. 4th and 2. They spread the offense. Empty backfield for Flacco. He rolls. Chased by Baker. He runs for it. And he's got it. A 1st down. Flacco keeps the Ravens alive with 1:55 to go in the 4th quarter. This is the 2-minute warning. Washington leading 16-10.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by State Farm, here to help life go right.
He doesn't run often, but Joe Flacco needed that one.
That's what I call on 4th and 2 with the game on the line, right? Joe Flacco sweep left.
Thanks, Coach. 1st down Ravens. They still have 2 timeouts remaining from the 31. Flacco throws short. Juszczyk out of the backfield. It's up to the 37-yard line. No huddle for the Ravens. Clock running. Flacco sends all receivers out. Throws short to Juszczyk again. He's got a 1st down up at the 43.
But I think that this is the MO you're going to have to use down the field until you force Washington out of this. Their offensive line has got a lot of changes in it. They haven't protected really well here in the 2nd half. Their wide receivers are not beating this man coverage of the Redskins.
Flacco throws and completes it. In Redskins territory, Dennis Pitta 1st down at the 47 and a timeout. 1:08 to go. Ravens with several missed opportunities in this game.
Yeah, we find themselves down 6 points here. Early in the game, Joe Flacco delivers a great ball to Brashad Perryman. He can't pull it in. They have a takeaway, an opportunity for points. They elect to go with the fake field goal. That doesn't work out. And then here's the big one. I mean, C.J. Mosley makes a great interception, but then has a terrible decision at the end of it. He fumbles into the end zone, touchback, Washington Redskins ball at the 20.
And they came down and scored points off a long drive. 85-yard punt return by Jamison Crowder. Big play for the Redskins. On first down, Flacco throwing for Perryman, overthrown, a little too high. Josh Norman covering at the play on the play, so they challenged Josh Norman.
Well, couldn't they use Steve Smith right now in this situation?
Yes.
Just somebody that you know, his competitive nature, he's going to find a way to get open. He's going to beat man coverage, and Joe Flacco would just be able to find out where he was at in that play call and at least know he's got a guy he can go to.
Steve Smith was injured, an ankle injury that forced him out of the game. On 2nd and 10, Flacco throws, completes to Wallace at the 33. On first down for the Ravens. Clock running with 55 seconds to go. Ravens with 1 timeout remaining. Trailing by 6. They need to get to the end zone. Flacco fakes, looks. On the move, buying time, throws it to the sideline, and it is a catch by Mike Wallace at the 24-yard line.
What a great little veteran move by Joe Flacco on that. His protection breaks down and he comes outside. He just takes a little peek over his shoulder to make sure there's nobody in pursuit that's going to be able to get a sack fumble on him. And a nice job by Mike Wallace working the sideline. See that right foot was down?
Ruling on the previous play of a catch. We'll go into further review.
Okay, all reviews from upstairs in the final 2 minutes. They'll check that out to see if Mike Wallace was in bounds or not. Under review, that last pass to Mike Wallace, the ruling on the field was a catch.
Yes, and I think that's going to be the key, Sam, because as you watch here, does that right heel stay down? There's possession right there. It sure looks like it's down right there. Now it starts to come up. I think you're right. I think it stands as called on the field.
Ron Torbert, our referee, with the call.
Ruling on the previous play stands as called.
Not enough evidence to overturn it. They will go with a call on the field unless it's clear evidence that it needs to be overturned. Ball inside the 24. 39 seconds to go, 4th quarter. Baltimore trailing Washington by 6. And the Ravens with 1 timeout remaining. The Ravens led 10-6 at halftime. Washington scored 10 points in the 3rd quarter. Here are the Ravens threatening. Flacco with time. He throws for the end zone for Perryman. Was he in bounds? Touchdown! Touchdown Ravens! They challenged Josh Norman again.
He took a look back for the ball and kind of lost the step to Brashad Perryman on the play. Josh Norman is signaling for his sideline to challenge. Now, obviously, we're inside 2 minutes, so it's going to be looked at regardless. Does he stay in? He sure stayed in the whole way. He was not pushed out of bounds. He got that little separation right at the end. 1 foot down. The second foot got down.
Well, I think we're about to have another review.
Well, Josh Norman emphatic that it needed to be looked at.
Baltimore, that ruling will be reviewed.
All right.
Possession, 1 foot. Second foot comes down, out of bounds.
Yeah.
So Josh Norman right away signaled to his sideline to challenge. We're inside the 2 minutes, so they were going to take a look at this. It's a scoring play. They're going to take a look at it.
Again, as we said, ruling on the field is touchdown. So they have to have clear evidence to overturn it.
I think they do on this one.
30 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
So you're going to watch right here. Possession, 1 foot. You got to get that second foot down. Look at Josh Norman. His eyes are down to the field. He sees that second foot because he immediately signaled to the Redskin bench. Incomplete. Now he'll give you the throw the flag signal.
Yeah, throw the challenge flag. Don't have to do it, Josh. They've got it under review. He's playing injured. He's playing hurt. Right now, some nervous moments here in this tight ball game. Redskins trying to make it 3 straight wins. Ravens trying to go 4-1. Ravens have been shut down here in the second half. There comes Ron Torbert. Discussion with fellow officials while the coaches pace the sideline. Here's the ruling.
The receiver got 1 foot down. His second foot landed out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be Baltimore's ball, second down. 10 yards to go. Please set the game clock to 33 seconds. 33 seconds. The game clock will start on the snap.
All right. Ravens still 1 timeout remaining. 33 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. It is 2nd and 10 for the Ravens at the Washington 24-yard line.
The last play, they had everybody in the backfield. Kind of max protected that to take the shots down the sideline. On this play, a lot more open.
There's Flacco. Flacco starts to run. Throws outside to Perryman. He steps out of bounds at the 21-yard line. We welcome those of you who watched the Eagles and Lions. What a ball game that was. Lions jumped out to the big lead. Eagles came back, grabbed the lead. Lions field goal wins it at the end, 24-23. The Eagles' first loss of the season.
Kind of similar to what we've had here, Sam. Back and forth all afternoon.
Right here, the Redskins with a 16-10 lead on the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens with a 3rd down at the Washington 21 with 27 seconds remaining. And Washington leading by 6. Flacco sends all his receivers out. Throws into the end zone. Double coverage on his receiver. It's incomplete. Tried to get it to Kamar Aiken, but he was well covered on the play.
Joe Flacco changes the play late, moves Kamar Aiken out into the slot, and then he's going to have the corner route. You got safety help over the top. Give your teammate an opportunity to make a play.
It is 4th down for the Ravens. Flacco is waving to the sideline. And they have to use their last timeout.
Timeout, Baltimore. This is a 30-second timeout.
20 seconds remaining. And just moments ago, if you just joined us, moments ago, it looked like Baltimore may have had the tying touchdown on this pass to Brashad Perriman. It was ruled a touchdown initially.
But he didn't get that second foot down. You can see right there, Josh Norman knew it all along. His eyes went right down to the end line as Brashad Perriman came down with the ball.
Baltimore 1 for 2 on 4th down tries in the game. Flacco has time, throws for Wallace, incomplete. He was hit as he reached for it, and Will Compton makes another big play for the Redskins. And Wallace is shaken up on the play. So the Washington Redskins come up big.
Mike Wallace working on the outside, comes into the middle of the field. It's going to be a tight window. You had Kendall Fuller underneath. You had Will Compton coming inside out.
Big hit. Washington defense shutting out the Ravens in the second half.
It's amazing what happened to that offense from the opening drive. The adjustments that Washington made, the issues that they had to fight overcoming into this game. They had not played well on third down. They played well on third down this afternoon. They did not tackle well the first 4 games of the season. They tackled well this afternoon. The defense, after that opening series by the Baltimore Ravens, really steadied themselves and played good football the rest of the game.
Washington Redskins, who lost their first 2 games of the season, now with 3 wins in a row. In 14 seconds it'll be official. And Mike Wallace gets up, hurting a little bit.
Well, the tough thing for the Ravens, 2 weeks in a row now with the ball in their possession, an opportunity to win games, and they've come up short. So they've got to get some things figured out offensively. There's a lot of talent here. There's some shakeups on the offensive line that I think impacted them here in the second half. Right at the end of the half, we had Rick Wagner, the right tackle, get injured. He was not in the second half, and you make adjustments where you move your right guard out to right tackle. Now, they played that whole second half with just Jeremy Zutah at his traditional center position. The other 4 guys playing new spots.
Teams play lots of close games. And the Ravens coming in and played 18 of these 1 score or less. We welcome those of you who have watched Indianapolis beat the Chicago Bears 29-23. This game has just ended. The Washington Redskins defeat the Baltimore Ravens 16-10 after the Ravens started with a big lead, had a great opening drive, had a halftime lead of 10-6. But the Redskins scored 10 points in the third quarter, and then the defense did the job shutting down the Baltimore Ravens. For Darrell Johnson and Laura Oakman, this is Sam Rosen. We'll be right back.